Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Athletics franchise here on MLB The Show 24 as we've reached the penultimate week of the season as we have our final 6 home games of the season as well as we'll see them all in this one, starting off with a 3-game home set hosting the 78 and 72 New York Yankees. If you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content as we get ready to wrap up this season. I think we will get into year 4 relatively soon. On the mound for the Athletics will be Mick Abel, having a okay season. Not the best for your number 1 starter, but he's been kind of thrust into that role. Leading off for the Yankees will be Willie Castro, the former Cincinnati Red acquired at the trade deadline, who will single into center field to begin the day. Going to bring up Lane Thomas, the right fielder, up next, and he'll hit this one into right center. Ruiz goes after and he won't reach it, and he can't cut it off either. This one gets to the wall. Runner on first is going to round third. This is going to be an RBI triple right off the rip for Lane Thomas. So the Yankees on the board, his 8th triple of the season. And that'll bring up Aaron Judge up next, and the 2-time AL MVP will single up the middle. The Yankees, they're already up 2-0. We're 3 batters into this one. The 4-hitter is the shortstop Anthony Volpe. And the first pitch to him, he'll rip down the third base line and fair. So the first 4 batters, all getting base hits to begin for the Yankees. Not the start that Mick Abel would want. And now he's got 2 on, still nobody out for the catcher Austin Wells, who grounds it to short. Hernandez will flip it to second, over to first. And that is a much-needed 6-4-3 double play. So now we just got to get 1 more out, and we'll do it against the third baseman, David Fry, the former Cleveland Guardian, having a pretty decent season. 0-2 pitch to him, and he will swing and miss. So the Yankees get 2. And honestly, the way that inning started, it could have gone a lot worse. But unfortunately, 2 runs might be all this man needs. The 2023 AL Cy Young Award winner on the mound for the Yankees today, having another Cy Young-ish type season. We'll see what the Athletics can do against him as Ruiz leads off and actually gets plunked on the cutter inside, so that'll help. Ruiz, the later in stolen bases, will look to take second, but he's gunned down. The Yankees are ready for it. You got to get aggressive when you got Garrett Cole on the mound, and, well, that time the aggression does not pay off. And late in the at-bat, Tyler Soderstrom will strike out. So quickly now, 2 down for the Athletics as Rosario pulls one into right center. Pretty deep, but it will hang up in the air enough for Judge to get underneath it. It's 2-0 still to go top 4 now, back with the Yankees. Here's Michael Conforto, the DH, who hits this one high and deep to left field. And Rosario will put it away on the warning track. Garrett Cooper up next, playing at first base, and he will bloop this one into right field as the former Minnesota Twin will get on first base with 1 away. I'll bring up the 9-hole hitter today, Oswaldo Cabrera, who laces this one to left, and Rosario will not get to this one in time. Up against the wall, Cooper going to third. He's going to be waved home, and there will not be a play at the plate. It's 3-0 Yankees as they extend their lead off the RBI double from Cabrera. Just in time for the top of the lineup as Willie Castro up next then gets plunked on the inside cutter. So Abel struggling here in the 4th. 2 on, 1 away. Here's Lane Thomas who grounds over to Geloff. Trying to turn 2. They will not be able to. They just get the 1 at second. So now runners on the corners, 2 away for Aaron Judge, who strikes out on the fastball. Big pitch from Abel. The Yankees do plate another. It's 3-0. Final 4 to see if the A's have any sort of answer. Rosario does not as he strikes out on the low fastball. Rooker now up next to the full count pitch will draw a walk, something he doesn't really do, but we'll take it. Second walk of the day for Cole brings up Zach Geloff, who's 0 for 1 on the day. Full count pitch to Geloff, and he laces this one right at the second baseman, but it's misplayed. Could have been 2, instead it'll be 0. That's going to be a base hit, so they'll rule it. I think that's kind of fair. It was a hard hit ball. And I'll bring up Abraham Toro, recently called back up to the majors, and he's going to deliver. Single up the middle. It's going to be the first run of the day for the Athletics, and that is why we gave Toro a chance to see if he can do something like that and impress us going into next season. He delivers in his first Major League at-bat of the season. 3-1 now with 1 away. Here's Richie Veach getting the start at DH today, and he will pop up into foul territory for an easy out number 2. Ryan Noda up next in the 8-hole, and then he's going to fly this one deep to left. It was a hit and run, by the way, with the runner on third, so he kind of had to make contact, but he flies out. So it's 3-1 as we go into the 6th now. Carlos Rodon, the lefty, out for the Yankees, still on that big-time contract, at least having a better season. And he begins the 6th by getting Geloff to look silly on an inside 12-6. And I bring up Toro, who RBI'd in his first at-bat, was out in his second. And the 0-2 here just grounds this one up over to second. Good pitch from Rodon. That easily puts away Toro. Beach now with 2 away. 1-0 pitch, gets a fastball, tags it to right field. This one's got some carry, and it will carry over the fence. Richie Beach goes deep. A solo home run for him. Opposite field, that is something you do not expect to see out of Beach. He doesn't really have the power that you'd expect, but he puts one opposite field, so I guess he's got something in the tank. His second home run of the season is now 3-2 in favor of the Yankees as we cut the lead in half. Noda up next with an 0-1 pitch. Hits this one well to left, but it's right at Cabrera. That'll end the 6th. We'll go into the 7th inning now. Mason Miller graces the mound for the Athletics. Isabel will go 6 innings, giving up 3 earned. Lane Thomas up first for the Yankees. Had himself a good day thus far. And he'll get another base because Hernandez will come in at E6. That was an easy ground ball. Hernandez, pretty good defender, just misplays that one. And that brings up the now 7-time All-Star and 3-time home run champ, and Aaron Judge. So you give him a runner on base. That's not what you want to do, but he strikes out on the slider. Should have taken that one from ball 4. Instead, he's going to be out. Big break there from Miller. Then he gets Volpe to ground to Hernandez, and this time he will not misplay it. But we're only able to get 1 as Volpe will beat the throw to first. So now 2 down for Austin Wells, and he will bust his bat, and Miller will catch it. So gets through the 7th with no earned. JP Fireison now comes into the 8th. The former Arizona Diamondback acquired for Adam Frazier close to the deadline. As the bullpen has come in today, has looked pretty good. As here's Hernandez with a nice defensive play, able to make it that time. Good out there. Conforto up next. First pitch. He hits this one to left center. Rosario will range over and make the grab. So that's a quick 2 down for Fireison. Trying to make it 3 for 3. He cannot, as he does walk Garrett Cooper. So do give him the free pass, and that'll bring up Cabrera, already with 1 RBI on the campaign. 0-1 pitch to the left fielder, and he'll hit this one up the middle, and Fireison doesn't make a play on it. If that was the CPU, they would have backhanded that glove, but our pitchers don't want to play baseballs up the middle. So now 2 on for Willie Castro, who easily hits this one over to Noda, so nothing would happen. Still 3-2 as we go into the bottom of the 8th inning. Ron Marinaccio on the mound for the Yankees, trying to set up the 9th inning, trying to get his 9th hold of the season. Eddie Rosario leads off for the A's. He'll hit this one well into right field. He just misses it. I thought for a second that one had a chance. This is an easy F9. Brooker now with a 2-1. Fastball other way. A good pitch. Hits this one into the gap, but again, Lane Thomas will put it away. Having himself a busy half inning. 2 down now for Zach Geloff. First pitch. He pops this one up over to first, and that's an easy out for Garrett Cooper. As we go 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. Setting up going into the 9th inning, Joe Barlow now comes in relief for the Athletics as he inherits 2 down and a runner on, well, nobody on. Andy Volpe, though, will put a runner on as he hits this one into left field, as that'll get past Rosario. And it's a 2-out double for the Yankee shortstop as he coasts in pretty easily. Can Austin Wells bring him home with a 2? Oh, no, Volpe's actually trying to take third, and he gets gunned down. Aggressive base running from the Yankees. So now take a 1-run lead into the 9th, but it's for the 4-time All-Star Clay Holmes, who's been really good this season. 35 for 37 on save opportunities. And the first batter, he'll get his Toro to ground out to second on a slider right down the middle. So 1 down now for Richie Beach, who homered earlier. He chops this one up over to third, and that will be played by Fry for the 2nd out. And the game will come down to Ryan Noda. 1-0 pitch to the first baseman, chopper over to short, and that will be an easy play for Volpe, and that will do it. The Yankees will win game 1 of the 3 games set by a final score of 3-2. Tough loss for the Athletics. The Yankees, they're currently in the wild card hunt, holding on to that 3rd wild card spot. So they get themselves a big win, and although we did lose this game, it could have been a lot worse if you saw how it started. We went down 2-0 early with nobody outs, and then we only gave up 1 run the rest of the day. So I guess pretty good pitching overall. The offense just couldn't get anything going consistently, and we lose this one. Garrett Cole gets your player of the game as he pitched those 5 innings of 1 earned run ball, struck out 6, and we drop game 1. Going into game 2, we do win 5-0 as Paul Blackburn goes 6 2/3 scoreless, striking out 10. Then Brent Rooker hits his 29th home run of the season in order to give us a win as we look to try to take the series, and we would be unable to as the Yankees win 10-4 in game 3, including a 6-run second as Rosario hit 2 home runs, but it was not enough as Walchuk went an inning and a third and gave up 6 earned. Yikes. Second half of the episode, we'll stay at home against the Los Angeles Angels. Played the Angels in a 4-game set last week in Anaheim, and we split them 2-2. So this is kind of like the round 2. They come in 64-89, while your Athletics are 62-91. So we are the 2 bottom dwellers in the AL West. So one of these teams has to finish last in the division, so I'd rather not be us. So let's hopefully take a couple of games away from the Angels. On the mound for the Athletics will be J.P. Sears, making his 31st start of the season. ERA is down to 5.69, so at least it's not in the 6s anymore. But it has been a rough season for the lefty. He'll start off against the former Seattle Mariner Colton Cowser, who swings through a slider on the first at-bat of the day to get us started. Taylor Ward up next will bloop this one into right center, where Rooker will range in and grab it. We'll take a look at this Angels lineup. Ward has been having a very good month, so it's been good to put him out. And then we have Mike Trout up next, who's having another MVP caliber season, followed by Mickey Moniak in right, Luis Rengifo at second. Zach Neto is at short, Ernie Kim, the DH, the top rookie, and then Evan White at first, and Andy Thomas, another rookie, behind the plate. Here's Mike Trout with an 0-2, hitting .345 on the season, and he swings through a slider, so a great inning from Sears to get us started. Strikes out 2 in a 1-2-3 frame. On the mound for the Angels will be Chase Silseth, making his 31st start. He actually did start against the Athletics last week. He went 4 innings, no earned, struck out 5, so only going 4 though. He didn't get a decision. But the Angels did end up winning that game. As Esteury Ruiz leads off again for the Athletics, and he strikes out to begin the day on the low fastball. Tyler Soderstrom now up next on the first pitch. He'll ground this one up over to first, where Evan White will put it away himself. And we'll take a look now at the Athletics lineup today. More of the usual starters in, as we'll see Eddie Rosario, Brent Rooker, Zach Geloff, Robbie Martin, Ryan Noda, Logan Davidson, and Jacob Wilson. This team 12th in the American League in OPS. I'd like to see us get a little bit more from the power game in the offseason. We'll see how that works. Here's Eddie Rosario, who signed a 1-year contract last year as he singles into right field. Eddie will be a free agent, so it'll be interesting to see what the Athletics do with him, because he has had a good season, but he's not getting any younger. Brent Rooker up next will then swing through a slider, so that'll end the first as we go into the top of the 4th now. Colton Cowser leads off for the Angels, and he'll turn on a fastball and hit it high and deep to right field, and Rooker will give it a chance, but he will not be able to bring this one back. It's a solo home run for Colton Cowser as the Angels get on the board, his 13th homer of the season. Cowser acquired in July for Matt Thaiss and Herman Marquez. The Angels cash in with 2 floundering veterans and get Cole Cowser in return. He's paid dividends for the Halos. Angels now lead 1-0 as we go into the bottom of the 4th. Soderstrom will start with a leadoff walk, and that will bring up Eddie Rosario, who we just saw actually single back in the first inning, average up to 241 now. He steps in for a second at bat. He's got a full count pitch, and he also draws a walk. So back-to-back free base runners for the A's. We'll now bring up Brent Rooker in a good spot here. Struck out to end the first. He comes in now, nobody outs with 2-2, and he chops over to second, and this will be a 4-6-3 double play. Just what the Angels needed, as now we need a base hit to bring in any sort of run, and it'll have to be up to Zach Geloff. Flew out in his first at-bat, faces a 3-0 here, and actually just walks on 4 pitches. So the third walk of the inning for Silseth. Puts runners on the corners now for the DH. Robbie Martin having a very good season. Grounded out in his first at-bat now with a 1-2. Turns on a splitter, and he'll bloop this one into left field for a base hit, and the A's are on the board. Nice RBI there for Martin. He's got a lot of those in the month of September. 2-1 now for Ryan Noda, who will try to bloop a fastball into right, and he'll do just that. Moniak comes up empty, and the A's now have a lead. Back-to-back RBI singles for the Athletics puts them up 2-1, and the inning's still not over. Runners on the corners still, this time Logan Davidson up as he gets a high fastball, puts it into center. But Trout will put this one away. The A's plate 2 in the second and take their first lead of the day. Going into the 6th now, Jose Suarez, actually in the 5th. He comes in trying to get one more out in the frame as he has Tyler Soderstrom up with a 1-2, and he gets the job done. So Suarez gets his one out as Silseth goes 4 2/3. Going into the 7th now, Sears still on the mound, and he's been looking great today. Strikes out Moniak, his 9th K of the day. Luis Rengifo now up 1 for 2. 1-0 pitch to the second baseman. He will actually go 2 for 3 as he lines this one into the gap. A great piece of hitting. That changeup was down and in, and he just golfs it into the gap for a 1-out double. Now the Angels threatening the runner in scoring position. Zach Neto, the shortstop, up next, and he swings through a fastball, and that's double-digit Ks on the day. Sears now just needs one more out to get out of the inning. He'll have to do it against Ernie Kim, one of the top young prospects in all of baseball. And he will deliver with a 3-1 down the line, an RBI double for the 19-year-old. And it's 2-2. Angels tie it back up off the bat to the former Royal prospect, Ernie Kim. That'll do it for Sears. He goes 6 2/3. We'll bring in Kyle Muller to try to get the final out of the 7th inning. He's been pretty decent. Had a horrible start to the season, but has really bounced back nicely in his last couple of games. Needs to get one out against Evan White, and he'll do just that. Snowda flips it over to Muller covering. But the Angels tie it up in the 7th. We'll now go into the bottom half of the inning where Victor Medeiros will step in, the rookie 24-year-old from Cuba, making his 6th appearance of the season. He's their Angels September call-up as he gets Jacob Wilson up first, and Wilson will fly out lazily into right field. Top of the order now, Ruiz with a nice sinker to hit, but just grounds it right over to short, and Neto will put him out at first. Quick 2 down now brings up Tyler Soderstrom, who can't connect on the curveball, and it's a great inning for Victor Medeiros. Going into the 9th inning, still tied at 2 apiece. Joe Barlow getting the call now for the A's. He'll start off his evening against Luis Rengifo, and Rengifo will not waste any time, hitting this one deep to right field, and it's out of here. A solo home run for Luis Rengifo gives the Angels the lead in the 9th inning. 6th home run of the season for Rengifo. It's 3-2 now in favor of the Angels, and the Athletics have just dug their grave with that at-bat. Barlow up next will then strike out Zach Neto. That's what we needed last at-bat as he Ks him. Brings up Ernie Kim with an RBI double to his name already today as he steps back in for his 4th at-bat. Got himself now with a 1-2 pitch, and he looks at strike 3 low. So back-to-back Ks here for Barlow. And I'll bring up Evan White, who's hitless on the day, 0 for 3, including a ground out back in the 7th. As he steps in with a 2-2 count, and he will hit a base hit through the right side of the infield. So Barlow not yet getting the final out of the inning. That'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Andy Thomas, the 27-year-old rookie who grounds this one up over to second. Geloff will bobble it. He'll get the throw out at first. Well, the Angels leading 3-2 going into the 9th, and now we'll turn it over to their closer, Andrew Watts, who saw us close us out in the last episode. Chance for revenge here as Robbie Martin perfectly times one to center field, but it's just right at Trout. That was a perfect base hit. You're telling me that didn't go into the gap or over the fence or something? Unfortunately there, as Ryan Noda will then sky this one to center, where Trout will also put this one away, and just like that, the A's are down to their final outs, and it'll be in the form of Logan Davidson. 1-1 pitch to the shortstop as he hits a cutter into left field, where it looks like it will be caught by Ward, and that'll do it for this one. The Angels win Game 1, 3-2. They get the late run off the bat of Luis Rengifo, that man right there, and it puts the Halos out in front, and they win it. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Angels, 2 runs, only 4 hits for the Athletics. Just an unfortunate end to this ball game. We didn't lose Game 2 as well, 5-0, as Robbie Francisco went 5 innings pitched and gave up 3 earned, got the loss in this one. And then we go into game number 3, trying not to get swept. And before we get there, the Aviators have finished their season. So the minor leagues is over, and with that being said, I'm going to call back up Pedro Pineda. I know we just sent him down, but I want to give him some more at-bats before he ends his season, which kind of stinks. I know we just wasted a option, but oh well. Abraham Toro will now go down despite being in the one game and getting an RBI in it to make room for him. And we lose in Game 3, 5-2. Rooker ties his career high in home runs with his 30th, but Zach Jackson got rocked late, and we are unable to take a game off of the Angels, which will send us into the final week of the season. Double road trips in Texas, at Houston, and then at the Rangers to close us out as we get ready to end year number 3. Hope you guys have enjoyed this series. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's been a lot of losing, but this is going to be a slow process rebuild. I mean, we were rebuilding the Athletics after all, which is not easy to do, and we've proven that is the case. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed so far. If you have, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.